If you sell services online, you will need a way to provide detailed information about the services you provide to anybody. And one way to do this is with something we call a sales page. This is why in today's video, I'll be showing you how to create a sales page that converts. Welcome back. If you're new to my channel, my name is Chris-Amusan. I help course creators, coaches, service providers create a system that helps them attract and convert premium clients with ease. In today's video, we're talking about a sales page that converts. And the first thing I would like to say is a sales page is not your website. Yes, you're trying to use a sales page to give people information about the service that you provide. But here's the difference between a sales page and your website. A sales page is a type of landing page. Now, a landing page is like it sounds, a page where people land on. So if you send someone an email or if you run an ad where you send people to whenever they click on your ad or whether they click on the link in your email is called a landing page. So a landing page is typically a page that has just one intent. There are different types of landing pages. There could be a landing page to get people to register for something. There could be a landing page where you want to give people your freebie. There could be a landing page where people fill a contact form. And a landing page where you sell a service is what we call a sales page. I hope that's clear. So that's disclaimer number one. Your sales page is not your website. In fact, with your sales page, you literally remove every other button so that people are not distracted by anything else. The only button allowed to be on your sales page is a button that takes people to checkout. All right. Now, the second disclaimer is you do not need to be a website designer to know how to create a good looking sales page. You don't need to be a tech guru. All right. There are tools available all over the internet today that allow even, can I say a 5-year-old? Yeah. Anyone, a dummy, create a good sales page. They have templates and you just fill in the text, change out the colors, and you have a beautiful looking sales page. Some of these tools double as email automation platforms. So if you use ConvertKit, Flowdesk, you can create a good sales page with these. You can also use even advanced funnel software like Katra, ClickFunnels to create a good looking sales page without being a tech guru. You don't have to be techie to have a good sales page. Next, we're going to talk about the features of a high converting sales page. Emphasis here is on high converting. Why do you need a sales page if it's not going to convert? You're trying to sell. So there are some things to look out for. Now, the first one is the messaging on your sales page should be very targeted. It should be clear. It should be speaking to one specific kind of person. And the key to doing this is knowing who your ideal customer is. I'm going to link a video up here where I've spoken about how to get your ideal customer avatar, to know them, their ins and outs, right? But one key thing you want to pay attention to here is when you're writing the copy for your sales page, call out this person. You want to show them that you understand where they've been. So you're asking them questions. Is this you? Can you relate with this? Can you relate with that? Is this where you see yourself? So you paint like the ideal scenarios where they want to be. Talk about their pain points. Talk about where they see themselves going, where they want to be, right? Talk about some of the struggles that they may have encountered trying to solve that problem. And what happens when you do this is people come on this page and they're like, oh my gosh, this person gets it. Why? Because you've done your research. All right. So I think that the video I did on ideal customer avatar would really help you. But remember, the messaging on your sales page has to be very clear and targeted. Number two, you need to use catchy headlines and catchy phrases really throughout your sales page. Now, it's one thing to know who you're trying to target. It's one thing to have that clear picture of who you're talking to, but it doesn't end there. Copywriting is a skill that will help you elevate your sales page. Next, you want to highlight benefits over features. What does this mean? Sometimes we get wrapped up in the technical aspects of the service we provide. And when we're trying to describe that to a prospect, we start to use technical jargon and then they're lost. They don't really get it. They are thinking, yeah, that sounds nice, but what's in it for me? Like, how does that affect me? Here's an example. Say you're trying to sell an iPhone. You could come and say, oh yeah, this phone has a 13 megapixel camera or a 20 megapixel camera. How about you tell them, oh, this phone will help you take pictures that will make you look really sophisticated and attract very, very premium people to you because it will elevate your brand outlook. That makes them say, oh, so this phone will take pictures that make me look like this, like that. It's interesting. I'm talking about phone and I'm saying camera. Another example could be you're a coach, you're a course creator. So let's say you want to highlight the fact that you offer a community. Rather than saying, oh, you get an online community, you say, oh, you get to be surrounded by like-minded entrepreneurs who will provide accountability and support for you throughout this journey. You want to be very, very conscious of that. We don't even realize we're doing it at times, but remember always to highlight the benefits over the features, right? And even when you list features, because sometimes you have to list those features, you accompany with the benefits. Oh, you're going to get a community, and this is what the community will do for you. This is how it will change your life. Next is visuals. Visuals are so important because it could take your brand outlook from 0 to 100. And the thing about when people have a very high perception of your brand, it just gives them this premium vibes. Some people call it packaging. What this will do for you is that it elevates trust instantly. You don't want to be selling premium services and you're looking like the ghetto. No. And so ways to incorporate high quality visuals, get high quality pictures. So if you're going to be having your pictures on your page, you should have a photo shoot done so that you look very clean and crisp. If you don't have high quality photos, then you may want to substitute with stock photos. A very good place I get stock photos from is www.pixels. That's pexels.com. There are many other websites, especially when you want to get pictures for dark-skinned people like me. But yeah, pixels.com. If I remember any other ones, I'll link them in the description. You can also do this with beautifully designed graphics. Canva is a very great way to design graphics that will look very elevated. But if you do not know how to use Canva, then just pay a graphic designer to do that for you. One last thing to take note of with your visuals is that they should be on brand. If you're wondering what that means, then you're a beginner and you want to check out the video I did on personal branding, you need to have a brand guideline at least that lets you know what are your brand colors, what are your brand fonts and all of that. So on brand means that all your visuals are sort of within the scope of the brand image that you've projected, right? So if you've always been using nude, beige, neutral tones, you want to stick with that on your sales page. And further down in this video, I'll talk about why this is very, very important. The last thing you want is you create an ad, you send people to your sales page, and your ad looks totally different from your sales page. It could actually mean poor sales for you at the end of the day, and you end up spending a lot of money on the ads because it's just jarring and you're not creating some form of continuity. Now, since I just spoke about visuals, the natural next thing to talk about is page speed. What is that? That is the speed at which your page loads when people click on the link. Why is this important? If people click on your landing page and within the first 6 seconds, your page hasn't loaded, guess what's likely to happen? They're likely to bounce off the page. They're likely to get distracted, especially now where distraction is like everywhere. People's attention span is very, very tiny. You want to ensure that your page loads as quickly as possible. And I'm tying this into visuals because one of the things that could really slow down the rate at which your page loads is the size of your files, right? So you want to ensure that for every single file that you put in, whether it's a video, whether it's an image, the graphics, you compress them before you upload them to your page. Check out www.tinypng.com. It's a very good tool for compressing your images, or you could use Resmush if your landing page is done on a WordPress platform. Now, the next thing you need to think about with your sales page is including testimonials. Remember, we're talking about a high converting sales page, and one of the things that will get people to convert in an instant is trust. One easy way to build trust is to show them what you've done in the past. Show them social proof. Now, you could have testimonials where, someone has sent you some feedback, you type it out or you design it beautifully and put it on there. But sometimes social proof, like just putting the raw screenshots, can be even more effective than those other kinds of testimonials. So do not forget to include some social proof on that sales page. Now, objections. What are objections? For you to complete any sales process, there are hurdles you would have to jump in the mind of the client. I say in the mind of because sometimes the prospect doesn't even tell you that they're thinking about these things. A very common objection that you need to think about is pricing. right? But apart from pricing, there are a lot of other things like urgency. Why should they buy now, right? There are other things like why should they choose you above the other person that they've seen, because people will compare you. And so you want to answer these questions before people even reach out to you to ask them, because sometimes once people land on your sales page and they go elsewhere on the internet and find somebody else, they may not even remember to come to ask you to squash these objections in their minds. So ensure that when the copy of your sales page is being written, you're thinking about some of these things. And a good way to do this is with an FAQ section. Include an FAQ section and answer these questions. So you can do it in a question and answer format. I'm sure you've seen FAQs on many sales pages before now. So just remember that this is why that section is important and you can't afford to leave it out. Next is risk reversal. Just like it sounds, you are reversing the risk. So risk reversal is a way where you let the client know that they have nothing to lose and it's all on you. Some people call this a guarantee. Now, one of the common ways you see people offer a risk reversal on their sales page is they tell people you get a cashback guarantee, 7-day money back guarantee, for example. So if you're purchasing an item, or if I'm trying to convince you, beg your pardon, to purchase an item, I could tell you, if you do not like this item, you get the chance to request for a refund 7 days, after you've made the purchase. Some people offer a no questions asked money back guarantee. Some people will tell you terms and conditions apply, where they would ask you questions like, can you show me evidence that you've actually taken the course? Because actually, you're in the knowledge industry, for example, someone has taken the course and then they're coming back to ask for money. So you have to show me that you've applied everything that you learned before you try to ask for money back, right? Some other people will tell you that the kind of guarantee they give you is, I will work with you till you get results, right? So there are various creative ways to go about this. And if you do not have a way to offer risk reversal, just let people know, like, it is what it is, There's no guarantee. This will work if you put in the work, or just don't say anything at all. Now, let's talk about pricing. Of course, I'm sure you've been waiting for this one. It's a sales page. So at some point on the sales page, you would need to show people the price. After you've tried to woo them, you need to reveal the price. There's a very strategic way I like to go about pricing on the sales page, and it's called anchoring. What is anchoring? Say I'm selling my program for $1,500, right? And I have an installment plan where you can pay 3 times. You could spread your payments over a 3-month period and pay $500, thrice. Sometimes some people want to make you feel like, oh, this is very affordable, and they just straight up tell you, oh, you can pay $500 thrice. Price anchoring goes in the other approach, where I tell you this product is $1,500, and then as you read on, I also now, further down, let you know that you could pay an installment plan. What this does is that it is anchored the value of this program at $1,500 in your mind, and already you're thinking of ways to make it possible. You're already thinking, how can I raise $1,500? And then further down the line, you see, oh, there's an installment plan, and then because you've already in your mind, it's psychology, you've already started thinking of ways to make $1,500 possible. When you see that there is a way to even get it for less, it becomes easier for you to get in, right? So it's a very, very good strategy. Some of the other ways you could be strategic with your pricing on the sales page is to offer some discount, or to offer a time-based offer. So you could say, oh, if you get in now, within 24 hours of you landing on this page, you get XYZ off. You could give them something off, or you give them a bonus, and add on to say, oh, I will give you this freebie in addition to everything else you see on the page, right? So those are some of the ways you could be strategic about your pricing on the sales page. Another important thing you can afford to leave out on your sales page is talking about yourself. Yes, you want to keep the focus on the person you're trying to convince, right? But at the same time, you need to balance it and give them a bit of storytelling. Storytelling is so important and so powerful. It gets them to see a bit of where you're coming from and why you're qualified to meet them at the point of their need. Now, do not take storytelling to the other extreme where you're talking about yourself so much and you forget that it's about them. Find out what are the pieces in your story, in your background, that ties into why you're qualified, or why they feel like, oh, she's this, she's that, I can connect with her so much. And find those pieces and bring them to the front month and just watch your sales page go from 0 to 100 literally, just because you've been able to share your story and connect with your audience. Last but not the least is call to action. I would assume that this is a no-brainer, and at various sections in your sales page, you remember to say, join the program now, or pay for this service now. You need to include a call to action. I've spoken about call to action in literally almost all of my videos. Call to action is usually a verb word. You use a verb to get people to go to the next thing, right? So if you're selling a program, you say, join now, get access now. Find those strong verb words and intersperse it all across your sales page. Let that be what you put on your buttons, above your buttons, below your buttons. Do not be shy to ask people for the sale. So in summary, the best practices that you need to look out for with your sales page is copy, second, design, and then third, page load speed. These three things can make or break your sales page. Now, how do you know if your sales page is high converting? What are the things to look out for? The first one is page views. How many people are viewing your page? This will give you a general sense of how well your page is performing, especially when you're running ads and you already set like a target based off of the budget for your ads. The second thing is bounce rate. The bounce rate is simply how quickly people leave the page once they land on the page. And this ties in very closely to the session time or session duration. Session duration is, if I land on your page now, do I spend 5 seconds? Do I spend 30 seconds? Do I spend a minute on the page? And then the third thing is conversion rate. Conversion rate is how many of the people who land on your page move along to the next stage. In fact, this can be the most important metric because, of course, you want to see how many people clicked on that button on the page to get on the checkout page or to get on the payment page or to even pay you for the service that you provide. These three things will give you a general sense of how well your page is performing. And like I said, it's not that simple. There's more to it. There are benchmarks to all of these numbers, but for want of time, I can't talk about that in this video. If you're interested in my free training where I teach how to attract and convert premium clients for your business, check the link in the description to join that training. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with your business bestie who might need to learn all these gems that you just learned. See you in the next video. Cheers!